Candy, welcome back to my channel. I was smart. I set up the camera before I started driving, so you can't yell at me for messing with the camera unless it like starts to fall, but it seems pretty sturdy. Should probably roll up the windows though, so you guys don't get a lot of background noise. Anyway, hello friends. It's been a while. So I think the last kind of vloggy thing you saw from me was our vacation and then the try-ons that I did on vacation. That was the beginning of May, so that was like a month and a half ago. Over like the week before, I've been having some medical issues. So the week before Memorial Day, which in the US is like the last week of May, or the last weekend of May, I started not feeling great. So I just was getting like super nauseous all the time, and my stomach was kind of like, it felt really like bloated and painful. It wasn't like a sharp pain, it was like this constant like queasy almost feeling. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I started changing things I was eating. I already avoid acidic foods because I have heartburn, so I don't eat spicy foods, I don't eat acidic foods. Like I don't eat pineapple, tomatoes, citrus fruits, things like that would irritate my stomach, because I've told you guys before, I've had gastric bypass. My system is sensitive. I like, there's a lot of things that make me sick now that did not before. Like I'm lactose intolerant now. Eggs upset my stomach. Even chicken sometimes upsets my stomach, which is really disappointing because it's about the only meat that I like really like to eat. So anyway, I started feeling sick and I didn't know what was going on, and I was trying not to miss work because we were like super slammed, and I did end up going home early one day, and then I switched my day off to stay home one day. And so I'm like trying not to miss work. And then we get into Memorial Day weekend and I'm staying at Cody's house because he has his son and we like to spend time together. I want to make sure I was going the right way. So I went up to his house and I was feeling awful, and I was super dehydrated as well. So my system was not happy. And I was like, okay, all this weekend, I'm gonna drink all the water and no Diet Coke, like one coffee a day. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm going north. And so when I was at his house, I felt awful. I was able to eat some foods. I was having a really hard time with food. About the only thing I could like stomach and keep down was like white rice. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get through this weekend. And my mom was at the river with a bunch of their friends, and they were all camping down there, and they have property, and they wanted us to come down, and we were supposed to go Saturday, and Saturday was probably the worst I had felt, like, of all the time. And I was like, there's no way I can go there. Like, it's an hour and a half drive in the car, it's out in the woods. Like, I was like, I can't today. And so we ended up going on Sunday, and we were only able to stay for about an hour and a half. I just was feeling awful, and like, of course my mom used to work in a doctor's office, her friend used to work in a doctor's office, and then one of their other friends is sitting there and she's like, oh, I have that same problem. And so we're trying to pinpoint what might be going on. We're thinking gallbladder or like some kind of infection, but I haven't had a, fever or anything. And so they're like, you need to go to urgent care. And I was like, okay. So they make me tell them that I'm gonna go to urgent care when we get home, and I don't go because I'm a dumbass and I'm scared. So that was on Sunday. So Monday is the holiday, and I emailed my doctor's office and I was like, hey, these are my symptoms and I can't get an appointment. And like, I had made a doctor's appointment, but it wasn't until the 20th, and this was like May 29th or 30th, right in there. And I was like, these are my symptoms, this is what's been going on, this is what I've changed. Like, I explained the whole thing, and I knew it was a holiday, so I probably wouldn't hear from them. About an hour and a half later, the nurse emails me back, and she's like, well, the office is closed, I'm still checking emails, really think you should go to urgent care as soon as possible. I was like, ugh. So there I am in Cody's apartment crying because they want me to go to urgent care, and I'm like, okay. So I call the urgent care that's near his house, and it's like a 5-hour wait, and I'm like, this is not that big of an emergency. I'm not dying, hopefully. So I'm not gonna go today. I'll make an appointment for one near the store, and I'll go to work in the morning because there's no one to cover the morning shift if I'm not in there. This is how I am, okay? Like, Cody hates it, but I'm like super dedicated to my job, and I don't like, I put my job above other things, which I probably shouldn't sometimes. I digress. And so I made an appointment at an urgent care in Portland so that I could go down there, and as soon as my coworker got there, I was able to go to urgent care. So I get there and I'm all checked in, and the doctor comes in and he's like, what's been going on? I'm telling him all these symptoms that I'm having and what I've changed and what I've done. And he's like, well, what's your regular diet like? So I was like, well, this is what I do in the mornings. I'm pretty regimented where I I eat the same thing every morning and every lunch. And then for dinners, I just do whatever I have time for or feel is appropriate. So I'm not great at dinner, okay? Sometimes I'll make dinner like on a Sunday, I'll meal prep and then just eat the whole same thing all week. I don't care about that. I'm cool with leftovers. Like, I know a lot of people can't do that. I'm cool with that. So I'm telling him, and he's like, I don't know, I don't see any signs of infection, and it doesn't seem to be your gallbladder. And I was like, okay. I go, what's going on? And he's like, it sounds like gastritis, which is basically the lining of the stomach becomes irritated and inflamed, and it causes pain, nausea, all sorts of things. And I was like, okay, what do I do? And he's like, take omeprazole, which is an over-the-counter acid blocker, and you should be fine. I'm like, okay. So I go home and I have omeprazole at home because, like I said, I have heartburn, like pretty frequent if I'm eating the wrong things. And I start taking it the next day, but I'm still feeling really, really bad. And I emailed my doctor again, and they were like, listen, I don't think that's right. Please go to the emergency room. It's like, so I'm at work in Portland, and they're like, you need to go to the emergency room. So I called Roger, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be coming home to Longview and going to the emergency room there. Please just like be aware that that's where I'm gonna be if I need like someone to come get me, or if I need someone to be there for me, because he's my emergency contact, because he's the only person I know that lives in Longview. So I like made him aware, and I'm his emergency contact too. Like when he was in the hospital, I'm who they called. And so he's like, okay. And I was like, I'm gonna go to the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room, and I was in there for a couple hours. They did a full exam of me. They took blood, they took urine, they did some other tests, they did an ultrasound, and they didn't find anything in my gallbladder, which, thank God. But they also didn't find anything else, and they couldn't explain it to me. And they're like, I guess we could lump it in with gastritis, but like, it doesn't seem like that's 100% what it is. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm taking these acid blockers, and they also give me Pepsid, which is just a stronger acid blocker. I haven't taken that yet because the omeprazole seems to be calming things down. I'm still, certain foods set it off, and they have me cut out all caffeine, which part of my personality is coffee. So that was really tough. I had to break up with Dutch Bros, and then I went back because I started drinking tea. So yeah. So then that's fine, whatever. I had a doctor's appointment for the 20th, which was this Tuesday, yeah. And so I went in there because I was having a couple issues. The nausea, obviously, my sciatica, and I had a couple moles on my back that I didn't see, but Cody was like, honey, you should really get those checked out. So I go to the doctor, and I'm talking to him about everything that had been going on, and he's like, that just doesn't sound like gastritis to me. And I was like, okay, then what do we think it is? And he goes, honestly, I think you may have had a gallstone, and you probably passed it before you got the ultrasound, because it sounds like you were really, really sick the days leading up to that. And I was like, I don't know, man, like, this all just sounds crazy. He's like, here's what we're gonna do. Keep on the omeprazole, since it seems to be helping, and go back to your regular routine. I was like, what? I can go back to coffee? And he's like, yes. He goes, you shouldn't have to give up things you love, but if it causes you issues, then give it up. I was like, okay. So I decided that I was gonna stay off coffee for a little bit longer. But today, since I have the day off, and if I have a reaction, I'm only gonna be with my family. So they're not gonna care if I'm like, ugh, I gotta go home. So I got iced cold brew today, and I asked them to add a little extra water so that the coffee was like less like, I don't know, the whole thing. Because what I've been drinking is Americanos, which is just like straight espresso with some water and almond milk. So today I got an iced cold brew with almond milk and extra water. So far, so good. I haven't had any reaction. My stomach feels fine. I ate a really good breakfast this morning. I've been a little bit obsessed with quinoa bowls right now. So what I'll do is on Sunday, I will make a big pot of quinoa, keep it in the fridge, and I'll also like make some chicken thighs or some chicken breast and cut that up. So I'll do spinach, the quinoa, chicken, and then add whatever else I want to it. Some of my favorite add-ins are garbanzo beans, sliced olives, pumpkin seeds, which add a really nice crunch. What else was I adding in? Oh, my favorite like sauce for it, because it needs some sort of like dressing or something. I did make a green goddess dressing with Cody. I even bought like a stick blender for us to use, because it was one appliance we both don't have. And we made green goddess dressing. It just wasn't as good as I was hoping. So I went back to the Herdez avocado salsa. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you guys haven't tried this, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's either called guacamole salsa or avocado salsa, and it's by Herdez. It's Herdez, and it's fantastic. It's like very, very little like spice, not in like oh my god, it's gonna burn you, but like flavor spice. And it's so good. So good. So that's what I love to have on there. So that's been my current obsession to take to work for lunch. And my breakfasts have been pitas stuffed with turkey, like turkey breast deli meat, and some Swiss. And I found a vegan ranch by Hidden Valley that's pretty good. So that's what I've been doing for like breakfast and lunch. And then, like I said, dinners are just a wild card. They're just a crazy wild card. So that's how my health has been going. 14 minutes of talking about this shit. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things. So that's the kind of rough stuff I've been going through. We also lost another person at work, so it's down to just two of us at the counter again. So my schedule has changed. This week I've been working, well, Tuesday I had to open, but Monday, Wednesday, Thursday I closed. Tomorrow I have to work a full shift on my own. So just what we have to do right now with vacations. There's a lot of vacations coming up right now for our guys, so the next couple weeks are going to be a little bit stressful, but we're going to get through it like we always do. So we'll just have to find another counter person. It's funny because I made a joke at the staff meeting. I was like, hey guys, please remember to, you know, fill out all your information, because it seems like there's always a new person up front, you know, at the counter. And one of the guys was like, oh, does that mean the new girl is fired? And I was like, no, don't put that juju on me. Like, no. 3 days later, done. It was frustrating. I was like, dang it, he predicted this. But it seems like they only last about 3 months if they last the first 2 weeks. So I don't know. It must be a harder job than I figured. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Moving on. Everything else in life is going fairly well. I do have some footage of us from last weekend. Brittany's been coming over. I think she was over like 3 weeks in a row, and do you have a person in your life who just being in their presence recharges your battery and just like makes you feel better? Brittany is that person for me. And I feel like maybe I'm that person for her. She sort of hints at it, and I hope that I am. Because like, honestly, this girl could just come over and we could sit on the couch, watch horror movies, and laugh. And that's all we have to do. I've promised her crafting though. So last weekend I was like, we're gonna craft. And so we did some, and I will show you guys that footage. It's a vlog day. It wasn't gonna be. Listen, Brittany was coming over and we were gonna do some art with our buddy Eddie. And we were gonna watch Bob Ross and do paintings, me, Cody, and Brittany. And I was like, should we get the camera out? We're like, no, it's just gonna be boring. We're just gonna paint with Bob. It's gonna be super chill. What, 2 minutes in, I have anxiety?
Bob Ross stresses me out.
Guys, like, we've already had to pause so many times. Like,
we haven't made it past the fucking sky on Bob Ross.
okay, am I getting Brittany in here?
I can just be the voice.
Okay, I can see all three of us. And Harriet's gonna try to investigate. Okay, excuse me for a moment.
I'm gonna screw up this ocean, I just know it.
So, if you're curious, we're watching season 26, episode 1 on Hulu.
Yes.
In the Stillness of Morning is what it's called. I currently have this. Looks nothing like what Bob has now. But we're supposed to have some sort of sky. So I'm gonna go in here and try to... We don't have the correct paints. We are not.
We didn't put a whitewash down.
No. We have acrylic paints. He's using a totally different type of paint. But we are attempting.
Blending. But that's we're gonna be a little abstract today.
Yeah. We are not artists. We are just working folk trying to cure our anxiety. Is it working, y'all?
And like most things in life, I'm gonna fail.
Failure. I can't even Bob Ross it.
It's like the highest stress painting I've ever done.
This is where... Remember when we painted on the beach?
Yeah.
That was kind of terrible. Like the sand and stuff. It was pretty relaxing.
It was so relaxing.
But this is... Oh.
It was relaxing, and I think it turned out well.
Also, we have a neighbor who Brittany and I noticed, because this is Brittany and I's spot. Like, we sit here when she gets here, and we do our like 1 to 2 hour like
in the same spot.
We do our 1 to 2 hour catch up before we like start watching horror movies together. And we have this guy that lives across the street that we see all the time, and he wears all these different types of hats. He takes his cat out to walk, and I don't know him.
With a leash.
What?
Takes the cat out to walk with a leash.
Oh, yeah, with a leash, yeah. Sorry, I totally missed that part of it, didn't I? But, yeah, and he's just, like, he seems like the sweetest person, but I've never, like, met him. I've never, like, if we see him outside, it's not like I want to run outside and be like, hey, buddy! Hey, neighbor! I don't know. I just feel like that would be super weird. So I've never organically got to meet him. But we've kind of, like, seen some of his life, and he just, I don't know. I kind of look forward to you coming over and us sitting out here and being like, oh, hey, cat man. He's just, like, out there with his cat.
Those sweet little babies.
It's just one of the weird things about my neighborhood, because we have the woohoo neighbor as well.
Yeah.
Who's crazy and woohoos in her backyard. And then sometimes, like, challenges us to woohoo concerts.
We win.
Every time. So I'm looking forward to that some this summer.
She's got the lungs.
Although my work schedule is going to be a little crazy now. We're going to work everything out. Okay, I think I have mine where I want it.
I just don't like the hard edge on this ocean.
So I've got kind of I've even got like a wave going a little because I've got a little bit darker there. So that's where I am. I feel like I'm a little caught up with Bob. Like I might need a little more white, but I can add
it, Bob. Think with it.
So when you guys feel like you're comfortable to move on, we can do that. The reason I am home on a weekend right now and not at work is yesterday I had my IUD changed out. It had been 5 years since I'd had it. So if y'all were here with me last time, it was a really terrible experience for me the first time. And I was super nervous. So Cody was awesome and came with me and literally held my hand the whole time. And it was actually really quick. It hurt. It did hurt. But it felt better to have you there. I thought it was going to be really bad. And so thank you for being there for me.
No problem.
And then Brittany came over to hang out with us tonight because she loves us and we love her. This is like the third weekend in a row.
Something that was just happening.
Oh, I just told a story about getting my IUD changed out yesterday.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Brittany's soups focused. How you doing over there?
So great. I like my clouds.
There you go.
I don't know about this ocean. We better blend something.
I think he's gonna go in with something next. How are you feeling?
Good. I'm good.
You want to push play?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Just beat the devil out of it. That really is the fun part of this whole technique.
Doing clouds and then fluffing the clouds. So that's our next
I
step.
just wanted to be a fluffer.
What the heck? Oh God. This is not X-rated. She started licking herself or something and it freaked me out. Cody's getting a little closer to getting along with the girls. I keep telling him, or telling them, he's moving in, so you better get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Or we won't.
Just I'll live in mortal fear every day. It's fine.
We did decide that
Stalked.
Yeah.
Stalked in the hallway.
To incorporate his two cats, we're gonna have to have them come visit.
Oh, she does not like this talk.
Once or twice.
If she had a door, she'd slam it.
So mad already. Got teenage cats.
Fine.
But yeah, his cats are gonna have to come for a visit so they can at least, meet each other before we bombard them with having to live together.
I'm just imagining we won't understand it. It's just but there's gonna be a Step Brothers moment where they're just I live here. No, I live here.
Balls on a drum set.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Harriet gonna marry?
I'm burying you. She's got the eyes for it.
Oh man. We were gonna watch the new Scream movie, and then we realized that there was a Scream movie in there that we hadn't seen. So we had to find Scream 5, which none of us knew existed. I thought this was the latest one, and it's not. Actually, I have some on my dry brush here. So we're gonna watch the rest of Scream 5 and then Scream 6 tonight. Last weekend, Brittany and I watched The Candyman, Smile. Oh my gosh, what else did we watch? There was a third one.
Yeah.
Bro. Ethan, first kill.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
The
that was
fire.
actually good. Well, okay. You said you were having
I'm
trouble
expressing
blending,
myself.
so.
Express.
Okay, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. I shouldn't have done that.
If mine looks like a pile of paint, it will be my pile.
Those also sell very well.
Yes.
I'll duct tape it to the wall and it'll sell for $10,000.
I'm happy with my extra clouds in my sky.
That's really nice, actually. I see it.
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm happy with mine. So I'm gonna be done with that part.
What I can see it is almost like a comic book page.
Yeah.
Like, but it's got like.
Yeah, I need to
3D effect
blend
in
out
there.
some of my brush strokes in the sky.
I think it looks amazing.
Thank you.
But, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever works, man. Can I play Oregon Trail?
Oh, yes.
I think I was too old for Oregon Trail, you guys. I never
I
played
still
that.
will play it. Oh my god.
You can play it on your phone now.
Like I don't
The
even know what
dysentery
I see. I don't have the connection to it, so I have no interest.
Oh, it's so
But
good.
like, yeah.
I mean, it's
My-
seeing whether or not you can get everyone over.
Like the
'cause
only
it's-
game that I ever played was like Mavis Beacon teaches typing, and I love doing like typing. Yeah,
I did
like,
a lot
that
of those
explains a
too,
lot
man.
about me.
Those computer games of yore. There was one that grabbed me. It was Zumbinis. So, to describe it, it would teach you math and like logic and stuff like that, but the objective was that there were these little random amalgamations of like shapes. So some had propellers and some had different shaped eyes, and they would like make random faces. And you'd get like 20 of them, and you would have to get them from A to B because they're basically being like kicked out of another place. They're being picked on. And you have to like escort them by answering these questions. And so as you're doing it, you end up losing some of the Zumbinis, and you're like, no! Eventually they all make it, or some don't, but at the end of it you're like, yay! Most of them made it home. That's fun. It was terrible, but we were learning math at the cost of Zumbini lives.
Something I love about Cody is that when he is hanging out with Eddie, he gets more long-winded. But what he doesn't understand about me is my attention span with Eddie gets shorter. So you lost me about halfway through, babe. I'm sorry. But then I caught back up at the end.
Well, check the tape.
I'll get to see when I'm not hanging out with Eddie, I can watch the tape, and then I'm like, oh, okay, now I understand that story more.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the benefit I get.
Okay, press play.
Are you ready for play? Oh my God, yours transformed while we were over here jibber jabbering. It looks great. Show them.
Space in the middle. Pissing me off, man.
No, hers is looking so good.
That's
Yay.
actually really good, yeah.
Yeah.
Ew.
All right, let's move on.
Detail.
Will I get copyright claimed for Bob Ross's voice?
I don't think so. So you're just gonna have to mute Bob? I don't know how you can do that.
I don't know.
You have to read subtitles.
Just like when you're looking at things far away, you don't see every leaf, every...
I'll do a voiceover and I'll do your voice. And I'll do my voice. Oh my God. This is really
Oh, my
amazing.
cheeks hurt.
Just wondering who's gonna snort first.
No, I will not snort.
Snake every twig.
Every motherfucking time. We're turning
Here, get a little bit
Bob
of
off
the midnight
because
light.
he's giving me
Like a great
anxiety.
hug.
And we're just gonna paint whatever we want and go back to watching a horror movie.
I'm just gonna
It's a goose.
dance in a few little areas here and there.
Go home, Bob.
Actually, it's fucking up. It does look like a goose.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna turn the camera off, watch a movie, paint while we're watching the movie, and we'll show you our finished paintings. I'm gonna turn that off.
We had a great time, and now Cody's painting is hanging in my bedroom. I love it. There's a little bit of a funny story about Cody's painting. I might have to like insert some photos here, because while he was doing it, neither one of us knew what he was doing exactly. And I'll show you this photo. It looks like the female reproductive system. And Brittany and I were like, what is it? He's like, it's a bird. And I was like, okay. I thought it was a bird flying. Well, it turns out it's a duck and a reflection in the pond. I'll show you guys the finished one, because it's like I said, it's hanging on my wall. I love him. It turned out super cute, and he's very proud of it, and I'm very proud of him. I haven't finished my painting, and neither did Brittany. We do this. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple Christmases ago, we started making ugly Christmas shirts, and we never finished them. They're still somewhere in my house. I'm pretty sure they're in my craft box, one of my craft boxes. So, we're good at this. Anyway, today I have the day off, and I am heading up to see my mom and my nephews. I got some not so fun things to talk to my mom about, some family stuff that I don't want to share, but just think about me. There's stuff going on. My nephews are on their first day of summer break, so I'm gonna head out and hang out with them a little bit. My sister posted their last day and first day, or first day and last day of school pictures yesterday, and Logan has grown like 6 to 8 inches, and it makes me want to cry. And I just I saw the picture, and I was at work, and I was like, no, how did he get so big? So I'm interested to see if he's taller than me now, because at my birthday last year, he was like pretty close. So I bet by now, because I saw them not too long ago, but like I didn't get to hang out with them very long. And then, yeah, I'm excited to see them. I love them so much. And I don't take enough time for them, which is my goal for this summer, is to spend more time with them. So anyway, that's all I'm going to talk to you guys about today. I hope you enjoyed the video and keeping up with me and my life and my struggles and all the fun I have as a crazy ass 42-year-old woman that is just navigating life. And I hope that you guys are all having a great day. I love you guys so much. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.